There's a version of you that terrifies you, not because it's evil or destructive, but because it's powerful beyond your current imagination. That version of you wakes up early, speaks with clarity, walks with direction, and acts without asking for permission. That version of you doesn't waste time scrolling or doubting. It just moves, builds, creates, wins. But you don't know how to become that version yet because you're stuck waiting to feel ready. You've been told that motivation is the spark, that you need to feel it before you do anything. But that's the trap. You will never feel ready to become unstoppable. You will have to move while scared, speak while uncertain, act while insecure. The real trick isn't about becoming a different person. It's about manipulating the mind you already have to start behaving like the version you want to become. The difference between who you are and who you could be isn't potential, it's momentum. Your mind is designed to protect you, not evolve you. It will rationalize laziness. It will justify inaction. It will label discomfort as danger. So if you want to outgrow your current life, you have to outsmart your own psychology. And that begins with the most powerful lie you'll ever use. I'm just going to do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's the magic spell. The first 5 minutes are all that matter because once you start, everything changes. Your brain shifts. Your emotions catch up to your actions. You think courage comes before the move, but it's the move that creates the courage. Stop waiting for the feeling. It's the greatest scam your brain has ever sold you. The champions, the legends, the seemingly disciplined people you admire, they're not always motivated. They're trained. And most importantly, they've learned how to lower the threshold for beginning. You think you're lazy. You're not. You're just overwhelmed by the illusion that you have to be perfect or do everything at once. That illusion paralyzes you. So here's the trick. Shrink the task until it's laughable. Want to write a book? Just write one sentence. Want to work out? Just put on your shoes and walk outside. Want to fix your life? Do one thing, and watch the illusion of resistance melt. Because here's what they don't tell you. Success isn't about massive action. It's about consistent manipulation. You are constantly negotiating with your own mind, so you need leverage. The trick is to lie to yourself in small ways that lead to big results. You say, I'll just do this one thing. Then you do it. And after that, momentum takes over. Momentum is what makes people look unstoppable. It's not talent. It's not energy. It's not even belief. It's movement that creates belief. And that movement comes from bypassing the gatekeeper in your head. The gatekeeper is the voice that says, not today. Maybe later. You're not ready. You don't defeat it by arguing. You defeat it by bypassing it. By doing something so small, it doesn't even trigger the alarm. That's how you sneak past resistance. That's how you trick yourself into becoming unstoppable. People think change happens in epiphanies. It doesn't. It happens in micro decisions, small wins that compound, one skipped excuse, one moment of honesty, one decision to act when it would have been easier to wait. That's how you build a life that feels unrecognizable later. You want to know how people change their lives? They don't wait for the right mood. They build systems so simple that the mood becomes irrelevant. And here's the brutal truth. If you can't manipulate yourself, you'll be manipulated by everything else. Society, advertising, fear, comfort. The path of least resistance is always available, and unless you're deliberately choosing otherwise, you'll be swept into it like everyone else. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be in control. And that control begins when you realize your mind isn't your master. It's your tool. But tools need commands, so give it one. Stop asking, do I feel like it? And start saying, I'm doing this anyway. That one sentence changes everything. You do it while tired. You do it while scared. You do it while unsure. And in doing it, you begin to rewire your identity. You stop being the kind of person who waits. You become the kind of person who moves. The most powerful identity shift doesn't happen in the mirror. It happens in your actions. Every time you do the thing you didn't want to do, you cast a vote for your future self. And over time, those votes stack into something unshakable. This is how discipline is born, not from self-hate or pressure, but from evidence, proof that you can trust yourself. That's what makes you unstoppable, because you know what breaks people? It's not failure. It's the shame of broken promises to themselves. That quiet, invisible damage every time they said they'd do something and didn't. That's what kills self-belief. So don't aim for perfection. Aim for credibility with yourself. Be the kind of person who does what they say, especially when no one is watching. That's how you build self-respect. That's how you become dangerous in the best way possible. Let's get real. There will be days where you feel empty, days where your mind screams to quit, days where the thought of progress feels insulting. And those are the most important days of all. Because if you can keep going on those days, you're unstoppable. Not because it's easy, but because you've decided that ease isn't the goal. Progress is. The real trick, make failure your ally. Most people run from it. But if you can learn to see failure as feedback, if you can fall forward instead of folding inward, you unlock the one thing that guarantees progress: resilience. And that, more than talent, more than intelligence, more than luck, is what separates winners from watchers. Every excuse you've ever made has a pattern. I'm too tired. It's not the right time. I don't know where to start. Those are all just different costumes for fear. So instead of wrestling the excuse, sidestep it. Make the start so easy that your fear doesn't even notice. That's how you win. Not with willpower, with design. Design your environment so action is easy. Leave your book on the pillow. Put your gym clothes on the chair. Turn your phone off at night. These are not minor choices. They are life-shifting levers. Because your environment always beats your intentions. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer obstacles. You don't need more discipline. You need less friction. And once you get that, you start moving in a way that feels inevitable. You're not dragging yourself toward progress. You're being pulled by it. And that's the moment when people around you start saying things like, "You're so driven," or "I wish I had your willpower." But you'll know the truth. It's not willpower. It's trickery. You've tricked your way into momentum. And now you don't need to be unstoppable. You already are. This version of you was never far away. It was always one decision, one moment, one move beyond the hesitation. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to stop believing everything you feel. You need to manipulate the resistance, not obey it. And once you learn that, nothing can hold you. You will never feel like doing the hard thing. Never. Not consistently. So if you're waiting for that golden moment of motivation to arrive, you will wait forever. The people who win in life, who build things, change things, live lives worth remembering, they don't wait for the feeling. They manufacture it. They trick their minds into momentum. And that's what makes them unstoppable. The trick? It's not sexy. It's not dramatic. It's not a big declaration or a perfectly crafted goal sheet. It's something smaller, simpler, more deceptive. It's the lie of just 5 minutes. Just 5. That's all. That's the lever, the hack, the access code to your resistance. Because you can't negotiate with procrastination in full battles. You have to disarm it quietly, sneak past it, and telling yourself just 5 minutes is like picking a lock. It bypasses the mental guard dogs. It's a Trojan horse that carries discipline inside. And once you start, once you actually begin, something flips. Your biology shifts. Dopamine kicks in. Focus returns. The act of beginning itself is the alchemy. You go from overthinking to moving, from stuck to unstoppable, all because you didn't ask, do I want to? You said, let's just start. Do you understand how powerful that is? Do you realize how much time, how much potential, how many years you've lost waiting for readiness? If you took one action, just one, every time you were afraid instead of avoiding, you'd be unrecognizable in a year. Not a little better, not slightly improved, unrecognizable. You don't need a new personality. You need a new pattern. You don't need more motivation. You need momentum. You don't need to change everything. You just need to change something and keep changing it until it changes you back. So here's what you do when this video ends. You take the thing you've been avoiding, the message you haven't sent, the workout you haven't done, the work you keep delaying, and you lie to yourself. You say, just 5 minutes, and you start, and then you don't stop. Because once you start, you've already won. You don't need to trick the world. You just need to trick you. And if you do that, if you learn to outsmart your own excuses, outmaneuver your own hesitation, override your own doubt, then nothing and no one can stop you. Not because you're perfect, but because you move anyway. And that's what makes you unstoppable.